Welcome everyone back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is the finale of The Promised Neverland, Season 1, Episode 12. What happened last time? Also, real quick, 15/01/46. The year is 46, the month is January, the day is the 15th.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what the titles actually are. Anyway, what happened last time?
Last time, they burned down the house. Ray was planning to kill himself in the fire, but Emma stopped him because she had actually had a secret plan the entire time, which was not so secret because it was telling everyone else and letting them decide whether to come or not. But Phil stayed behind, even though he was the cutest. He stayed behind. Now he's there, and Mom, it looked like she had some kind of like another one because they locked her out of the room, which was an excellent plan. But if she did have a spare one in case of a situation like this, or like an accidental house fire, like you know, not thinking that the kids would burn down the house on purpose, but just in case of anything happening, it would make sense for her to have a backup one that can be anywhere. So I'm sure she's gonna talk about some shit, but it'll be interesting to see if, like, the fires in the other forests impact anything.
Yeah.
If they can even make it far now that Mom can alert people right away, because the whole point was they would send fire personnel there, not thinking that it was, that it was any kind of plan.
Yeah.
But now that that's kind of ruined,
it's going to be difficult because
I don't
she'll
know
probably
what will, yeah.
figure out what they're plotting and then communicate that, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And we also still don't know whether Norman's alive or not. If you've watched us this far, you'd know that our theory is that Norman is actually still alive in that, like, gate, in that room.
The only proof other than the fact that he wasn't killed on screen, he just left the screen and then we were told that he was dead, is that Mom was like, you're alive still, whatever, Emma, Ray, and ... So we think that the "and" was Norman. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens this episode in the finale of The Promised Neverland Season 1. We are going to be reacting to Season 2 on our channel. If anybody asks that in the comments, do us a favor and tell them, because we probably will be very careful about reading comments for this series. We're pre-recording all of these, and as much as we like talking to people in the comments, we really also like not getting spoiled. And whenever we read the comments, they end up being spoilers. So
especially with the last few episodes of a series that is going to continue, is especially bad.
Especially if we have a slightly wrong or a controversial opinion on something, people feel the need to be like, actually, and then spoil like 300 chapters in the future. Regardless, all that to say, we are reacting to Season 2 on this channel. So get hyped for that, and let's just go. You can get the uncut on Patreon for this and all previous episodes, and get a week ahead on our other series and a bunch of exclusive stuff at patreon.com/BOLDcast. Support the official release, Netflix, Crunchyroll, source material, whatever you gotta do, and let's go. Promised Neverland finale. Are you ready?
I am ready.
So am I. Bam! Right where we left off. Wasting no time at all.
Oh, they left them.
What?
Is it because they
wouldn't understand?
They wouldn't understand, they wouldn't believe us. And
they couldn't lie. And yeah,
also,
how are you gonna feed them?
It seems that no one under 6 gets sent away. So they think they could maybe come back for them.
Or is it just so unrealistic that not even Emma? Yeah, they'll for sure die if you don't have any formula. So then what?
Yeah.
William Minerva, the pen.
フィルを呼んで。でも話があるの。ハウスとママについて。
Because Phil's super smart. He's
He
in
can
that
stay
age, but he
there.
can stay there and be a mole.
だったんだね。
So it's just like I thought.
ずっと考えてたんだ。鬼ごっこの時、シスター赤くってない。レイの引き出し開けてたりして。ノーマンがいなくなる日。
Poor little guy.
だなって思ってた。
He's just been alone.
そっか。
You're a badass, Phil. You're a fucking god. Oh.
クリーム。
Aww.
みんなも。ただいま。今は連れて行かない。あっちはフィルに任せてある。ねえフィル、よく聞いて。
Ray is just astounded that this is working.
連れて行くか、4歳以下を置いていくか。収穫されるのは満6歳から。誕生日が早いマーニャでも1年半時間がある。が15人抜ける。数より質のこのハウスなら収穫のペースは落ちる。この先今以上に殺せない。
Like him. He can't get killed.
Exactly.
4歳の6人は
He won't die at 6. They'll wait.
どの子もスコアは悪くない。短く見積もっても2年の時間はあると思う。
エマ、それって。
待てるよ、僕。だから置いてって。
We'll come back.
でも諦めたわけじゃない。
We'll get him.
2年以内に必ず戻る。
I really hope Phil holds it down in the meantime, dude.
他の子たちは。こっち。
Did they all cut off their ears?
No.
Oh no, it's just all of them.
Yeah.
Holy, there's so many who are so young.
大丈夫。本当にするよ。みんなここから決して動かないでね。こちら7358よ。
Of course.
だそうです。警報。
They're at the annex, or the vertex.
まだ端まで遠いぞ。
They're just broadcasting that?
No, they're... I guess? Oh my fucking god,
There's
it's
so many of
happening.
them. There's so
this is... I thought it was gonna be another revelation, but no, it's exactly my worst case scenario of what would happen.
Do you see what she just said?
No, I didn't.
She
What?
said, "Try and escape if you can, Emma." Oh,
No, I think she's like, it's like a dare, is what
yeah.
she was saying.
端からだ。で、誰だってそう考える。
that's what anyone. Oh, there was more.
崖からなんてありえないって。そうはいかない。崖から逃げる。対岸までの危険だけど、渡れそうな場所はある。それにまだ2ヶ月。
Have they been training to
Either to jump or to like...
大丈夫。したんだから。
and the wall is maybe just wide enough?
Oh, yeah. Grappling hook.
I try and get around it, like around the tree.
God damn. They're so badass.
Look at Ray's face. He's just.
They're so badass.
And then the other tree.
They tie it there, and then it's taut.
Oh my god.
And then they just climb across.
Look at.
Are we really doing this? With
The
the
coat
coat hangers! They showed them, I think, in last episode. I'm surprised they aren't using, like, the hook part.
Is he.
Oh, yeah, they were doing this! You remember?
Yeah.
It looked like they were just playing, but no, they were training.
And then they're more. Oh, holy shit! They thought this through so well.
And then he can tie them on that
Yeah.
end, so they don't need to, like, be super accurate. And they can all go quickly 3 times as fast this way. Unless it breaks and one of them falls.
I feel like this has been going way too smoothly. They were literally doing. Oh my god.
They knew the whole time, man. Is it actually him or is it just his spirit
It's
again?
just.
It is him?
だってまんまとレイを騙せたもの。いいものを見せてやるから黙ってこいね。その通りだろ。見て。僕らがありえないと思っていた光景。ああ、無謀で。でもまっすぐで。
That's exactly what he said before.
まず全員と家長山だから。諦めなくてもいいんだよ。あの子たち、橋にはまだ。
They've been waiting at the bridge. They didn't think they would try this. She just probably...
her.
No. Oh. She's scared. Didn't run.
Oh no, they're getting freaked out too. Oh my god.
The
No,
fear.
you guys.
Oh no. This is the... They're still kids. They're still 5 years old. One of them will have to go next.
それで俺とジェミマを固定してくれ。交換の手順は見て覚えた。お前らはまさか無理とか言わない。
What if Ray just like died with them both there?
It is her. It is her.
It is.
It's actually her.
Oh my god! Please, you guys need to get a. Ow! Fuck! I hit my hand.
Her. Just careful. I lose.
They need to get
Norman.
a. Oh my god! Emma's gonna have to get captured or some shit.
Oh
guys
shit!
need
She's
to go.
right there.
And you need to cut those down once you pass.
Go!
Emma. Just go. But she could cut it if you went.
But she's too valuable. She's not gonna kill her. Super badass.
さよなら、ハウス。
Little bunny.
さよなら、大好きだった。さよなら、ママ。行かないで、エマ。私の可愛い子供たち。
Holy shit. Now cut it. In the wind. There's her number. She said it earlier, but... She immediately looks so much younger. Back to that day. The song. He does kind of look like Norman.
びっくりした。ごめんなさい。ポリしてたら素敵な曲が聞こえたから、ついレスリーが作ったの？
Leslie.
素敵な旋律曲？名前はないんだ。すごいな。もっと聞かせて。
Grandma. she gave up. She saw the cliff and gave up. A previous grandma? Or the same one? The reveal.
来年からあなたに第三プラントを任せます。はい、かしこまりました。
How many? Ray? Yeah.
Ray, その歌どこで？
And she just realized there.
Yeah, because she didn't know that.
Yeah.
ねえママ、どうして俺を産んだの？
That's so horrifying.
レイ、
She just swallowed it. Survival.
誰よりも長く。
She's still just a kid. She's still just a kid trying not to get shipped off.
でももういいか。
She's gonna fling herself off the side.
Is she gonna hang herself? Was it really worth it, Isabella?
いってらっしゃい。気をつけてね。願わくば、その先に光がありますように。
Did it. And she never came back.
安心なさい。無事逃げていったわ。
Did she...
寒い中、寂しかったね。
Is she gonna kill them?
No.
やったよ、ノーマン。
Keep going.
必ずみんなを
She really believes now that they can get out. She doesn't... A new day.
最初の朝だ。
Oh, Erased is the next one. Recommends Erased. Once again, my cup was completely full. Happened the first episode, happened a couple episodes ago. That's how you know that the episode was good. Was that I didn't even think to take a drink. I was so glued to it the entire time. Nothing. No after credits. That's it. So what did you think of season 1 of The Promised Neverland?
It was really good.
That
I wasn't I was
such a
not
good season.
I was not expect. Should we talk about the episode first and then
Yes,
the show
yes,
as a whole?
yes.
Just to, yeah. Okay. So in this, so it was confirmed, like double confirmed that Isabella was the girl, and she was also Ray's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also confirmed that she didn't know she was Ray's mom until later, which is what I had also been talking about. Like,
but Ray had known since the beginning.
Ray
He
had
was never
known.
confused.
But she obviously didn't know because, like I said before, they probably like give birth and then get the kids taken away.
Yeah.
And then he just happened, or they on purpose put him in there.
It's like a dual purpose thing that they take one of the farm animals out, breed them, send it out into the populace or in the farm, and then have the prisoners keep more prisoners.
Yeah, and that she like wanted them like in the end she was happy for them because they did what she couldn't do.
Yeah.
And she can't be mad about, like, because it's not just about, losing the product or whatever.
Yeah.
It's, like, totally gave her flashbacks.
It reminded her of her hope, because she lost it, and she was like, my only hope is to live in the system and try to find a way to survive. No one else can survive. The one that I loved the most died, or left, and then I found out died. There's no escape. There's no way I can escape. And what's the point, even if I did alone? So I will do whatever it takes to survive within the system. And by seeing Emma resolved, already having saved everyone that she could, finally let her go and remembered everything. Remembered who she actually was. She's not just a tool for, like. She remembered that she was still the kid trying to survive. That's who Mom was from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah. She was never Mom. She was just another kid who made it too far. That's all it was. The entire time.
And that's what I've been talking about previously, is it's like, it doesn't even have to be a big conspiracy all the way up. It's just like trying to survive longer.
Yeah.
And each, like, achievement,
right.
And maybe it does get, like, different the higher up you go, but it's like, you're the mom, and if you're really good at being a mom, then you get to be the grandma. And if you're really good at being the grandma, then you've kind of made it, because you get to live out the full extent of your life.
Yeah.
Because I think it was, like, the previous mom of the house is now the grandma, like,
I think so. It's
and
hard
I think
to say.
It's like,
but
I think I was wondering if each, because she said to Emma, I want to, like, recommend you to be the next mom of this house. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if by the time, like, Emma would be the mom, if she would have, like, aged out enough to be the grandma, and then, like, the like
Emma
cycle
would take
continues.
her place, yeah.
I'm not sure though how that works. But if it's something like that, like if there's one grandma, or if there's, like, a grandma for each house that is in charge of that house and, like, the coordinate in between and stuff.
What I find interesting is that she wasn't lying when she said that she loved them. Like, in the end, it's just that
I know that
her need for survival eclipsed it.
And that's what I was saying before. It's like, if she believes in this system and that there's no way out, then the best thing to do
is to give them a happy life.
Is to make it as good as you can for as long as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
even if it's self-serving, it's the best you can do in the system. There's no way out. Once you've accepted that there's no way, because that was her whole talk with Emma. She wasn't faking it at all. She was just like, sooner or later you will realize that there's no way out. There's no salvation. You can writhe in agony awaiting your death. That's the best you can hope for. Mm-hmm. If you're not willing to join me. God damn, that was an incredible season. That was a great season. And people say that it goes downhill, it gets a little overcomplicated in the future, but I don't fucking care. Even if it goes downhill after this, which I don't think it will, maybe it will.
Unless it, like, went super bad, I don't see it, like...
Yeah, they'd have to make some serious errors, or this is, like, all the author was thinking of up until this point. I don't care. This was a great season of anime. This was such really a well-executed... The story could fucking end right there. And maybe they go off and die in the wilderness. Maybe in my head, I picture them going off and starting their own, like, deserted island jungle commune where they have all of these, like, like bamboo devices that, like, not bamboo, they're in a forest, but, like, you know, they've created tree houses and they're all living together in harmony, and they move every so often to keep hidden, but they find a way to live, and maybe who knows what happens way down in the future, but that doesn't matter. The story was about escaping, and there's still threads like Phil's there, and there's still kids to save, and now they want to save all the other houses as well. And
Mom knows that Phil knows as well, which is another interesting thing. Like, I wonder
what she's gonna.
I wonder what's gonna happen to Mom. Like, will she be punished?
I think she
will. For what happens. I think she will.
They still have Norman though. We think Norman's dead, and we saw Norman's ghost, like, talking to Emma and Ray separately. I think that, like, that was just their sort of inner monologue with him. But I think that he's still alive. I still am convinced that he's still alive.
I still think that as well. We might be wrong. We're not going to read the comments, so even if we are wrong, don't bother telling us. Just let us be wrong. But, yeah, I'm still believing. But then, since they escaped, then he's probably not going to be alive for very much longer, because they needed 3 of them. And if they don't have 3 of them, then one's going to do. And we still don't know what was in that room either, that he went into. I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff that's still unknown, you know.
Unless we are meant to believe that he died. Because he went into that room and there was like the bright light. He was sort of walked into the light. The door shut behind him. That's like that. You could easily say that that's death, but I don't like judging by the logic that we were presented with, like. They need, the whole point is it's 1 meal, 3 kids. 3 the top scores, the best that have ever been raised in any of the farms. They all are served in 1 meal.
The same meal,
so, that to
unless
me
we somehow got that wrong, but I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
So, yeah, so that's what made me believe that they were gonna keep him for that. But I don't know. It's like hard to say because also she was gonna recommend Emma as the next mom, which is why maybe she was sounding hesitant on the phone when they were like, so all 3 of those are gonna be ready for this, and she seemed to be a little bit weird about it. Also because
Ray's her son.
Also, that like there's multiple reasons of
all 3 of them. So like Ray's her son. Emma reminds her of herself, like a better version of herself, and then fucking Norman reminds her of Leslie. Mm-hmm.
So it was just a rough time all around, and there's a reason, like, I feel like there was a reason that they were the best ones, is that she, like, really had a special connection for all of them. Yeah,
Yeah, even in the end, she, like, it's like with Sister, how, like, she was reckless and crazy and was out for herself. But I don't blame her at all for how that happened. And I think the same way with Mom. I'm like, it's so tragic, like the shit that the stress. Like you can see when she was pregnant, like how horrifying that life must have been, and everything. Like just clawing at every opportunity, throwing people under the bus behind you at the fucking monsters on your heels. Just. Always in the reach of death, but like, you know, just doing whatever it takes to survive longer than anyone else, just because that's the only thing you can do in this system. It's crazy, and it's so good. It's incredible. Yeah, this is the kind of shit. Like I remember when I first got into anime. The first show that I watched, other than stuff from when I was a kid, was Death Note. And I just decided I had watched Dexter and Breaking Bad like for the millionth time, and I was just like, you know what, I want something new. I remember my stepsister was super into Death Note. I watched it. I loved it. I binged it all in 2 nights. I immediately rewatched it, and then I watched other shows like Code Geass, which is people say is very similar. I sort of moved on and expanded my horizons, but I was always angry that I could never find something that like scratched that same itch that I felt from Death Note. This really did. This is exactly what I was looking for back in the day.
The plans upon like the
reversals,
and then you think, oh, of course, oh no shit, Sister outsmarted them, but in fact they were like that wasn't even the goal. They didn't even care that she outsmarted them because that wasn't the point. Like I don't know.
Yeah. They're all playing different games and it's all layered and. Like, and then you find out, like, the game completely changes, like, when we found all the stuff with Ray being the spy, and, like, for fucking 6 years since he was 5, and finding out that he was also spying on her, and was also getting a bunch of different bits of machinery over the course of 6 years so that she couldn't piece together what he was looking for. Finds a way to nullify the shit. Ends up not even mattering in the end, because, well, oh no, it did, because they used it on the kids. Yeah. But Emma and Ray cut their ears off. Yeah, man. Like, just everything. It was so well established, so well set up, so simple but found a way to like expand like our understanding with each new revelation without getting too crazy.
Yeah, I never felt like there was anything that was like, okay, this is a bit too much. Settle down.
I was never like, why are we? What? You were so good until you just like
went off the rails.
Until Mom was an alien or something.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Yeah, they kept it realistic, and then they kept like. They did a really good
characters.
job of like making Mom be evil, but then you like it's kind of sympathetic in the end, but not to the point that you're like, oh, she's not evil. Like she's still bad, but she's not the worst.
She's just one of them who went into a different direction. She's just Emma who didn't have hope in other people, and who lost her Norman, but didn't take the plunge that Emma was willing to take with like trusting everyone else, and she was too fixated on survival. That I love how they draw her when she takes off her like hairnet thing and like takes out the bun and lets her hair down. From the back she looks like a child because her hair is so long. Yeah. Like it sort of messes with the proportions, and I think they draw her slightly thinner so that she looks like a child again. And then that's when you realize she goes through everything, and I just love that reveal. And the way it all connects, and it's just like the same thing with Sister. Again, she was just like a sort of foreshadowing for what was happening. Mm-hmm. And it's so you really see that she's the exact same as them. She's just a kid with a lot of potential who just went down a different path and is still trying to survive to this day. She may be in an adult body, but she is the exact same as them. And it's so satisfying. Everything comes together. It's all coming full circle. And it's just super well done in every way. It's so good. I love it. At least a 9 out of 10. For this season, at least a 9 out of 10. Possibly a 10. There was there was zero episode. There was no scenes. There was no moments where I was like, okay, but when are we going to get back to the good shit? There was never a time where I was like...
this was almost like a 10 out of 10 for me just because, like, how... Like, it was so well done. And it might not continue after this. It might.
I don't care.
But even just this season as itself, even if everything afterwards was shit, this season is worth watching. Like, I would definitely recommend this. Honestly, both of us, I think, were worried when we were watching the show. We were like, is this going to just be people watched it and it was really hype when it came? Like, it was like the best anime of the season. Best anime of the year, and then like 2 days later no one cares, like 2 days after it's over, like the hype is gone, but they still same with like Tower of God and God of High School
or whatever,
and any other show, but I can definitely see why the popularity of this would remain, and why this would be a show, and I'm super glad that we got to react to the show because we got to actually have some really good discussions, which is something that we like to do. And depending on the show, sometimes we don't get to have as good of a discussion as we would like. Yeah. But the show really gave us a lot, but like it was never that we figured out the entire plot. Yeah. But we were able to speculate wrong about some things, right about other things. Yeah. And
And I loved being able to speculate about the metaphors or like what it all means, like on a greater level, like the clear sort of allusions to Soviet Russia with the informants, and like if you didn't know, like 3 out of 5 people in Soviet Russia were informing on their families to the government. So like if you had a family of 5 people in a house, 3 of them were government informants and would report on you if you showed like shit, like, you know, and obviously factory farming and stuff like that. Like there's so much to unpack. There's so much good, and also just a basic human thing if you don't want to take it to that level, if you don't want to interpret that out of it. But there is so much here because it's so basic, but also because it's just so well executed. It's really well written. The character designs were great. I love that there was zero ecchi stuff whatsoever. It had nothing to do with that.
And they were kids, and they were like
really, they
were like actually kids, but also like really smart kids. But it made sense that they were smart kids specifically because of the situation that they were raised in.
They were being raised to be the ripest possible fruit, which means like everything was set up. Even like they're in 2046, they're in the future of us. Like they have, imagine how developed their technology is. They're still living in like a 1930s house with like lanterns and lamps and shit because it's so much simpler and warmer and like creates that atmosphere. It's like it's all as ideal for a child's development as possible, and it
Running
just
around
the
and
logic
playing
was so consistent, and I got just enough to care about the outcome of shit without being like, okay, I don't like, who cares if we learned about this, we're already on to the next thing. It's like, no, it all comes together. Everything means
and like
something.
they did that good thing where like something that is mentioned earlier gets brought back, like they mention it and then they mention it again and then it happens.
But the foreshadowing was so subtle, like just the humming of that tune, it's like just enough to remember, and there's no other tunes being hummed in this entire show. There's no music other than what we hear. But like as far as diegetic sound music, it's only that song, so it sticks in your mind, and then it's brought back as a critical plot element and character element. Like it's all, there's no like dissonance. What I love about this and what makes a great story is when there's no dissonance between what people are doing and what it means. Like, so plot and then story. There's like the syntax and the semantics of what's going on. It is completely congruent all the way down. Where I don't even. You know what? I won't even talk about that. I don't want to sully this conversation with talking about Naruto and the Sakon fight with everything like that. But whenever they're doing something to progress the plot, it is not in conflict with the message that they're trying to get across about what the characters are thinking and feeling. Everything that they're doing makes complete sense with what the characters are feeling, with what their goals are personally and for the plot. It's all super well established. It's all super well done, and I'm so happy that you guys voted for it on patreon.com/BOLDcast. Also leave a like if you're making it this far. If you haven't left a like, we really hope you do. And subscribe.
Made it this far but haven't
for season 2. We're doing season 2 for sure.
There's no way we were like, we'll watch it, but we probably won't do season 2 until after it's done airing.
There's no way
are we
we're
fucking
waiting.
joking ourselves? That's not a realistic
180.
expectation for
Complete
the
180.
If this show, like, I don't see like how we could do that to ourselves. That would just be kind of torture.
Oh my goodness.
But I just don't even know where, like, how we can progress. Like, there's still 4 other. There's first of all Phil,
and
our Lord
fives.
and Savior Phil back at camp, as well as everyone else.
Without a house. What's their contingency plan for this? Did they knock out all the kids? Like, put them under anesthesia? Like, dart them while they're asleep? And then build a new house? And then pretend like nothing happened?
Because they can't just bring them to somewhere else because there's nowhere else that wouldn't give away what was going on.
And what is Mom going to be doing now? Like, if she doesn't just die right away and get taken away and get replaced, like, she now has hope again. She's not going to keep throwing them to the dogs. What is she gonna do?
Like, they have 2 years, so if Mom can like somehow weasel her way out of this and can still be there,
but
and
not ship them off,
do sort of what Emma was talking about. Like, it'll be at least 2 years before they have someone who's able to be sent out.
Yeah.
So, and if she goes along with that, will she help? If they come back,
if she has really remembered herself and the hope that she had for life, for a life outside of this, and realized that her way of being is not the only way for people to survive, that there is a possibility, a chance of them having a happy life, not selling their friends and family down the river. If that's congruent with her character, if she is going to act within what we've been presented of her character, it follows that she will join their side, or at least their effort, possibly sacrifice herself or help them escape in some way. But will Grandma let that happen? Because now it's kind of like what I was talking about before, where this is their fight, this is their chess game. She was a pawn in their chess game. So it's a similar thing. Is her mom, her like grandma now, is this going to get past her? I don't think it will, because she caught her leaving. If they're playing a similar chess game, then I imagine there's going to be some conflict there, whether we see it or whether Mom just dies. Isabella, I mean. And like it's just nipped in the bud right there, and then Phil and everyone else they come to find has been harvested early just because they don't want to take any chances, and this is a lost cause, and they have 4 other farms anyway. Although Phil is showing enough promise that I think he is going to grow into Emma or that level. I think that he will get to that level. The way that he's acting as a 5-year-old is very similar to how Ray, like the cognition Ray showed at that age. So it's hard to say, but I think that he's being set up to be the next generation.
Yeah.
So
and that's like why Emma chose him to like tell him, and she's just like, okay, and then maybe even telling him like even if they can't come back, like Phil could do something himself, like stage his own thing, because even if other people start to get killed in 2 years, it probably wouldn't be Phil first. He would make it till 11.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just, I don't know.
So good.
I don't, and what's, like, they still need 3 kids for that feast, apparently. And like, so they're out in this huge forest. They seem to be far away from, like, everything. So I wonder, like, what, like, you know,
how far
what's
are they gonna
out
run?
there?
How? Yeah.
And what is out there for sure? What are they going to do? And what is, like, next, like, what is the next step? Do they come back? Do they try and...
I think they grow up, they age up 2 years, get a little stronger, a little wiser, and then be even better equipped physically and, like, mentally.
But, like, are we going to see them, like, out in the wild? Are we going to see, like, that journey next?
Or is it
are we going to time skip?
It's hard to say, because they did time skip from Norman's day to Ray's day, like that. Like, between episodes, they did it. And it was super satisfying, and it worked perfectly. So, like from a narrative perspective, like, it wasn't jarring. So I would expect them to time skip as well. We might have a Naruto to Naruto Shippuden thing here where they age up 2 years and they go from 12 or 13 to 15, 16. And then that would be interesting. And then is there going to be a fighting element as well? Like, are they going to get physical? Because we saw both in Sister's flashbacks
also,
and in Mom's flashback that there was... them? I'm sure they will, but they're smart enough that they could get away. With Emma and Ray there, they could find they will definitely, like, be able to outmaneuver them. They've been training fucking
also the
basically
fact that
super
no other
soldiers.
kids died. I was expecting to, like,
Flawless.
I was expecting to see this escape attempt go really poorly and lose, like, half the people along the way, and then I was expecting, like, a bunch of kids to die, and then them to get to the other side, and for it to be shit.
I was expecting to have the scene where they're running through the forest, and then there's, like, a hail of gunfire, like, clipping into the trees, like, as they run away, and then they get to the end, and they're like, Ray! I'm the only one left. I'm just Emma, and I'm the only one left. Like, I thought it was gonna be something like that, but, no. It went off without a fucking hitch because Norman's a god, is what it is.
Also because Emma is
a goddess, like, for sure. Like, they both killed it, and Ray was willing to pay the ultimate price from the time he was born. Apparently, from the time he was in the womb, he was willing to pay the ultimate price.
I mean, like, normally I would be like, that's a bit excessive, but if you could literally remember every moment of your life, and from the time that you were, like, a baby, you knew that you were just gonna be killed for food, like...
I think, from what I know, that's true. I mean, I have memories from when I was a baby, but not like that, obviously. I have a very specific, vivid memory from when I was a baby, but not like that. But I think people like that do exist where they... not everything, but, like...
moments. Clear
moments that stick with them for, like, the rest of their life. Yeah. This was an incredible season of anime. I dare say a 10 out of 10. Because I don't have any problems with it at all. Visually speaking, flawless. There were no, like, oh, that's some janky animation. It was, like, there were some things that were kind of jarring, I guess, but it was it was never bad. There was never a time where I'm like, oh, Norman looks weird as fuck here. Why do they draw him like that? It doesn't look like him at all. It was on point the entire way. It was super well paced, well edited. The music at points was incredible. This is about as good as it gets for a 12-episode season of anime. That's a 10.
And it didn't ever really feel rushed, which is hard to do because they put so much. There was so much in there. And every episode there was like 15 different...
And before people say, oh, but they cut out key scenes that explain a lot of emotional backstory, I don't give a shit. I don't care what the source material
The
says.
whole point of an adaptation is if you're going to cut something, it should be that we don't notice.
Exactly.
If we think that it's a whole story and that there's nothing missing, then that is a huge compliment to the adaptation.
I know, you guys, I know you're gonna say it anyway. There are people who aren't even watching who are already commenting. Oh, but I love this season. It was a great season, but they cut out this or that. By the way, if you're watching this, go to the comments. We're not reading the comments. If you're watching this, go to the comments and tag this time code so that they see that we mentioned this. I don't care what happened in the manga. I don't give a shit what they cut out. This was great. I don't care if unless it's like. No, not even if it's super important or it like gives some crazy insight or something. I don't give a shit what they cut out. They gave me exactly more. They gave me leaps and bounds more than I wanted with this season. It was great, and I'm so glad we watched it so quickly. We watched it in 2 days.
I feel like this is the perfect kind of show to binge. I don't know how I'm going to be able to deal with a week-to-week format for this.
It'll be
not
interesting.
okay.
It'll be really interesting, but I think we can do it.
I think we can do it, but I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna like it, but I'm not gonna be happy about waiting a week in between.
I think I can handle it, but we'll see.
We're gonna have to wait week to week for Attack on Titan and this at the same time. This is some torturous torture.
Yeah, well, that's all I gotta say for this season. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you if you want to get the uncuts for this whole series. If you haven't got them already, they're all on our Patreon, and you can get the uncuts for season 2 as well. We'll be posting them on our Patreon at our highest tier. There's also a bunch of exclusive stuff there as well. If there's any OVAs, we'll be watching those definitely on our student council tier as well. So you can go check that out. Bunch of cool stuff, exclusive and early for other shows too. But is there anything you want to say before we get going?
Can't wait for season 2.
Hope you guys enjoyed our reaction review to The Promised Neverland Season 1. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.